I want to tell you about a client who knew everything. He knew every indicator, he knew every setup, he knew every risk management. He could break down the charts better than most funded traders. But he had an issue. He had passed and blown his funded accounts without a single payout. And he did this repeatedly, not because he was lazy and not because he didn't have the knowledge. He'd already spent thousands of dollars on mentorships and courses, and he spent hours, tens of thousands of hours just back testing. And that's why he was able to pass in the first place. But he just couldn't get a payout. And I promise you, after watching this video, you'll go, oh, that's exactly what's happening to me. No wonder the knowledge isn't even translating in the markets. Because trust me, it wasn't until I figured out what was going on with him until everything changed. Within 2 weeks of working with me and years of blowing account before that, he made his first payout. Not because I taught him a new strategy, because we actually found the real problem. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what the problem was and what we did to fix it together and how you can do it for yourself. The wrong diagnosis and why everyone gets this wrong. The trading education industry has one answer for every problem a trader has. Buy another course, learn another strategy, fix your entry model, get a new confluence. And that is what we're taught. And then you will go on and on buying the next course, the next strategy, next thing, just in an attempt to figure out why you can't pass your challenges. And when you do pass your challenges, why you can't get a payout. And when you can get a payout, then why can't you consistently keep the account and keep generating payout after payout? Why? So my client had done this multiple times. He had multiple strategies. He basically knew all the knowledge. He got all the information. He knew what to do, what not to do. He knew when to enter, when to exit. He knew the risk management rules. He knew how to trade, what to trade, when not to trade. He knew all of that. And if you're watching this, I know that you know it too. You know all the things that you have to do. You already have your trading strategy and your system. But what's the actual issue? So the real issue isn't informational. That you already have. And these days, there's ChatGPT and AI and everything. You can literally tell it to give me a strategy. And then it's going to give you a strategy, which is basically what all these gurus are selling in courses. The issue isn't informational. The issue is biological. Because when you trade, there is so much happening in the biology. You know, when you take that trade, when money is on the line and when you're risking money, when you're putting fees in challenge accounts, it means something to you. You're feeling so many emotions. Tell me if I'm incorrect here. You're feeling something in your mind, you're feeling something in your body, some sort of hormone, some sort of stress, some sort of anxiety, some sort of FOMO, some sort of whatever it is. You're thinking 100 miles an hour, especially when you're in a trade. When you're not in a trade, maybe it's less. But when you're in a trade, wow, there is so much happening internally inside of you that you don't even realize. So most traders are going through survival issues when they're actually trading biologically and physiologically and psychologically, but the solutions that they're looking for and the solutions that they're given by the general marketplace, the trading education industry, is get a better strategy, get a better risk management rules, get a better, system, get more confluence. But that's not the problem. The problem is biological. It's somatic. It's not cognitive. And that's where the mismatch is. And that's why no matter how hard you try, you just simply can't get the results that you want and you can achieve. You just can't do it because you're attacking the wrong problem for the issue at hand. What did we actually find when we started working together? So number one, immediately, I'm really good at this and I can really just listen to you and see what you're saying. When you say something and when I hear words coming out of your mouth, the way you speak, what you speak, the thoughts, the language, the tonality, the whole structure when you're speaking and I'm listening to you, it is so easy for me to pinpoint what the actual issue is. So this trader came to me and he came to me thinking, oh, he has a strategy problem and that's why he keeps passing his evaluations and then blowing his account, but he can never get a payout. And all he wanted was a payout. That's what he wanted. And so when we first started talking together, he came to me and he started working with me thinking and hoping that I will give him a new strategy or I will fix his strategy. And I think I spent about 5 minutes on the call, maybe 3 minutes, just asking him his strategy questions, just to make sure from my end that on a technical level, he is sound, he knows what he's doing, and I know that actually strategy is not the problem. Because I know most of the time, strategy is not the problem. Strategy can be a problem with some of you, but not all of you. If you've been trading for any amount of time, 3 months, 6 months, you already have all the knowledge and information, all the trend line, all the support resistance, all the RSI, MACD, moving average, pullback, high base, consolidation, whatever it is, ICT. You have all the information you need to succeed in the markets. You just don't have the mind for it. So when he first came to me and he started working with me, literally in the first 5 minutes, I got the technical out the way. I was like, okay, technically, I have nothing to teach you. You know everything there is to it. There are other clients that have come to me where they're absolute zero, blank, never ever even came into the trading world, never looked at the chart, never looked at anything. And for those guys, I have to help them with technical strategies and build their strategies. But for you watching this video, that's not the case. That's not the case at all. So then I started digging deeper into this client. And what I actually found was, in fact, he had self-worth issues. He thought he was not good enough. He had trauma from the past. He had, issues with his family that was going on. And so immediately within 10 minutes of the call, I told him, yo, you have not a trading problem, you have a life problem. And that's what you have too. You have a life problem, not a trading problem. So once you fix your life, your trading will automatically be fixed. So with this particular client, he was having trauma and self-worth issues stemming from when he was 15 years old. And when we dug deeper together, when I really dig deep into, I isolated the problem exactly, okay, this is what's the problem. Now we need to dig deeper and go to the exact root of where this comes from. Why do you have the lack of limitations? Why is your subconscious mind not allowing you to make payouts, even though you can pass evaluations? Why do you have self-worth issues? Why do you have a limiting, I'm not good enough issue? Because we figured that out very quickly. I figured it out for him. And now I had to dig deeper because that still doesn't solve the problem. Where does it come from? So when I dug deeper and deeper and deeper, ultimately we got down to, when he was 15 years old, he failed his mathematics exam. He failed his math test, and what happened was his brothers and his cousins were extremely successful academically. They were very smart, and they got one of the highest grades in their time, in their tests and stuff, in their exam. And so he felt like a failure. He felt like he was not good enough. He felt like he's not as good as them and they're better than him. And now he felt that when he goes home and he shows his exam report card to his parents, that they're not going to love him because his brothers and cousins are much better than he is at math. And so he started thinking, and he internalized at 15 years old, I am so stupid, I am so dumb, I can't do anything right, I'm a failure, I am so bad at math, and it's not good enough. And so my parents don't love me. They can't love me because my brothers and sisters and my cousins are better than me. And why am I not as good as them? All these things he internalized as a 15-year-old teenager. And it's kind of natural. It's normal. All of you can think about yours right now. What did you go through? We all go through something like that. So when I really identified that, it was like, so that's where it is. That's what the issue is, right? So it became a thing of, okay, you have some sort of trauma, some sort of underlying belief that you got in that particular math exam period. That's where it first started. That's how crucial and how deep I go with my work with clients, because it's literally going to the absolute root. Where did it first start? And then from there, it becomes a process of changing that, right? So once we discovered that, and by this time in the call, he was already mind blown. He had no words to say anymore. He just couldn't even speak because his whole worldview had already changed. He never, ever thought about this ever. And so suddenly on the call, he was dumbstruck. He couldn't even speak. He just needed a moment. I had to give him a moment because this was revolutionary for him, right? And so this was beyond any of his expectations of what he can expect before he started working with me. But once he did, it just blew his mind away completely. Right? And so then when we started digging deeper and we did this work together, now it became an issue of how do we fix it? Basically, the whole thing was he was sabotaging himself when he took trades. He would pass the evaluation, and then now he's about to get the payout, but then he would blow it. He would revenge trade. He would tilt. He would do all those things, and then he would blow his evaluation, and then he has to do another evaluation, right? he was basically, it was that period, that 15-year-old that was fighting because he desperately wanted his parents' love. He desperately wanted to be as good as his brothers and cousins. He desperately wanted to pass the math exam, and he tried. So in the real world, you can try harder, you can study harder, and you can pass the test, which is what he did, and he got better results when he did that in the real world. And now he was trying to replicate that success in the markets, which doesn't work. In the markets, that's more trading, more risk, more entries, more, it's just more. And like, it's don't follow the rules, do more, get the payout today, get it now, do it now. That kind of system doesn't work. That kind of logic and that kind of reasoning and reaction to the market doesn't work. One loss made him triggered because it reminded him of that period, even though he never knew about this. It was subconscious. It was so unconsciously programmed into him that he did not know about this. And so when he took a loss, it would trigger that cascade effect. The dominoes would start falling. And before he knew it, he already blew the account. The account's gone because of that. And he never knew that. And so he was sabotaging himself despite knowing all the information, all the strategy, all the know-how, all the execution. He knew all of that, but he was sabotaging himself. Can you see where you are sabotaging yourself in your trading? It's very common, extremely common. And so that's what really happened with him. His trading was basically, every time he took a trade, it was just an emotional reaction, which was coming from that period of his time in life. And then that was just creating all these negative trading habits that weren't serving him of the goal of getting the payout. He just wanted a payout. How hard can that be? Right? And so how we fixed this is we basically went deeper into his mind. I started giving him personality exercises. I started looking into how his emotions are day to day, how his thoughts are day to day, how his breathing patterns are, how he is going about living and thinking about what's going on in his life, how he is, around his family, around his cousins, his relationship with them, with his parents, with his mom and dad, because ultimately he wanted to make his mom and dad proud. And he wanted to feel equal with his brothers and sisters and not less than them. He was trying to get a payout, and he wanted to get big payouts, big money, because he wanted to show his parents that, look, you can be proud of me. And what we fixed was, dude, that's not the solution. You can never ever get the payout you want if that's your intention. That's subconsciously running your brain. Like, I'll get this payout and then I can prove to my parents that I am better. I am good. You can love me. That's not how it works. So what the fix was for him was, okay, you want to be loved. That's why you're doing this whole trading thing. All you want is to be loved by your parents and your brothers and cousins. So let's give you the love without the payout, without needing it from the payout and proving yourself. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody. All you have to do is get the love now. So the exercise I gave him, the homework I gave him, was to go to his parents, go talk to them, go love them, go tell them like, hey, this is my life's choice. This is what I want to do. I want to be a trader. I want to make money from trading. I'm good at it. I can do it. And he told me they don't agree with this. It's a scam. It's gambling. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your money. Don't do it. He told me that that's his parents. And I said, once, go to them and just for your sake, let it out. Tell them once and for all. After that, you can do whatever you want. Do your trading. Never tell them about it. Whatever it is. But once and for all, go to them. Tell them about this. And then also tell them, parents, I love you so much. No matter what I do, I love you. I just want to be loved by you. Just give them a hug. Give them a kiss. Say I love you. Whatever that is you have to do that. With the cousins, same thing. Go talk to your cousin. Tell him about your life's choices. How you want to go and start trading and do this and the other thing, whatever it is you want to do. Get the approval, get the validation that you're looking for. Not by getting a payout, not by making a lot of money in the markets and then proving yourself. You don't have to do that. Instead, go get the love you want right now and start loving yourself first. So these are kind of the exercises I gave him. He went, he was very strategical. He went, he did that. He did whatever he had to. He mingled with his family. He opened up, he communicated. And even though his parents didn't agree with his choices and with his trading and whatnot, that was completely okay. What happened was 2 weeks later, he passed his evaluation and he got his first payout. And for me as a coach, I was so happy. I was so proud of him. He did it. And the only reason he was able to do that is because now he was no longer looking for a validation from his parents, from his mom and dad and his brothers and cousins. He wasn't looking for love externally anymore. He already had done the exercises and the practices to start loving himself. The journaling, the exercises I gave him, he already began loving himself. He had nothing to prove anymore. And now he could really trade. He could start focusing on the process of trading, not the results, not the end goal, not the outcome, but the process. What's my entry? What's my risk management? What's my exit? When can I trade? When can I not trade? How am I emotionally? Am I emotionally volatile right now so I won't trade? Am I emotionally stable and in a logical equanimity state of mind? So now I can trade. I can focus on my process, do what I have to do, execute. Despite win or lose on a particular trade, I'm executing my process, and whatever the result of the trade is, I am successful based on me following my process. That's what he did, and it just took 2 weeks. Years of failure, years of blowing accounts, years of not getting a single payout, and within 2 weeks, payout. That's a game changer. That's a life changer. Because when you get that first payout, you know it's real. You know it can be done. And then the game changes forever, because now it's on, baby. It's real. It's like a job has paid you. You have paid yourself. And that I want for you. I want for any trader to get to a point where they get that first payout and then beyond. Keep getting payouts, because it's always subconscious. It's always mindset. If you can't get that payout after the first one, then again, there is something deep rooted, something deep seated inside you that needs to be figured out, that needs to be brought to the surface and then actually killed, challenged, and then shine some light on it and actually get that away, clear that baggage, and then become normal equanimity, peace, calm state of mind again. And the execution, you already got that down. I know that. You already have that. Okay, so what this means for you is that you don't really have a strategical problem. You have more of a biological, psychological, mental problem. And it's so subconscious, it's so unconscious, it's so deep-rooted, it's traumatic, it's scary, it's not comfortable. And that's why you will never go looking there, because it's dark, it's ugly, it's the truth, it's not fun, and you don't want to go there. But you know what's fun? A new strategy, a new entry, a new confluence, a new whatever, a new course, a new guru. That's fun, because it feels like you're productive. It feels like you're doing something. A new challenge account. It feels like you're doing something. It's not. The real work is hard. It's definitely hard. Okay? And so that's what it means for you. You know, it's your nervous system that's not allowing you to basically trade, because your nervous system does not feel safe, because your nervous system, it's so hardwired from that 15-year-old version that it just can't do it, because that's how your nervous system's operating. So we really have to work together and get you to a place where your nervous system is in alignment with the version of you that gets the results you want. Not the version of you that's that 15-year-old who failed the test and then the exam and now he can't do anything about it and he's feeling all negative emotions, shame, guilt, lack of self-worth. We have to really go to the roots of these, and these things go so deep. With this client, it took 2 weeks to solve this, but sometimes it takes longer, much, much longer, months, years, even decades. I'm not joking, even decades. So if you're serious about this, this is the real work that you have to do. And most people cannot do this work, and that's why they can't succeed in trading. That is why there's such a huge failure rate in trading, because you're not doing this work. The actual work, the real work. You just want more charts, more time, get on the 1 minute, more trades, entry, exit. Like, what's the point? You're just shooting yourself in the foot all the time. It's no use, okay? So that's what this means for you. You need to change your subconscious conditioning, your unconscious patterns, your traumas, your psychological hurdles. That's what needs to be looked at, and that's what needs to be adjusted. And this is not like buy a course thing and, you know, learn from a course and DIY, do it yourself. No, you need actual help from somebody who's done it, somebody who understands it, somebody who knows how to actually locate the problem and fix the problem. And then it's on you to actually absorb all that, let yourself be in shock at first, and then say, oh, thank God, now I know exactly what's wrong, and now I can actually do what I need to do to take the actions, to actually make the changes I need to make so that I can get the trading results that I actually want. That's how it is. That's how it literally goes. That's what you have to do, and that's what it means for you. And that is exactly what fixed the problem for this trader and he made his first payout. So hooray to him. Well done. Good job. I'm so proud of you. I don't want to mention his name. Yeah, so he made nothing in the beginning, only blowing accounts, nothing to show for. And suddenly he's got his first payout. That validation, the proof of concept, and he's also got the love from his parents, love from himself, and he feels equal with his brothers and sisters, which is actually what he wanted through trading. He wanted trading to do that for him. It was not a strategy problem. It was not a mindset tip. It was finding the specific root cause underneath the surface of what was going on based on his behavior, and then systematically just dismantling that. If you're a funded trader or, a prop firm evaluation candidate, and you're watching this and you recognize yourself in any of what I described, the execution anxiety, the revenge trading, the tilting, the evaluation doom loop cycle, then I may have something for you. The 8-week somatic trader protocol is built specifically for traders in exactly this position. Click the first link in the description to learn more and apply, and let's find out what's actually stopping you, because the knowledge is already there. You already have it, but we need to make it accessible when it actually matters. We need the nervous system to cooperate with your trading edge and execution so that you can actually get the payouts and the results that you want.